Good Sunday morning and welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Kind of the storyline going into the game yesterday. Two teams that feel like they're trending in the opposite directions. Georgia obviously trending up. Tennessee trending down after the loss to Missouri. Look, Tennessee is struggling on both sides of the football. They cannot get off the field on third down. They were terrible against Missouri. They were terrible against the Georgia Bulldogs. Offensively, they're not moving the football. Joe Milton, if you have to lean on him, if teams sell out and stop the run, Joe's not making the plays to give you an opportunity to go beat teams like Georgia, teams like Missouri. And look, we knew going into this thing, Georgia is who they are. They're the best team in the country. I've said it all year. There's a reason the winning streak is what it is. Tennessee had to go out and play nearly perfect to have an opportunity to hang in there with Georgia. We needed Joe Milton to be electric. We needed him to put up Heisman-type numbers. And I don't think Joe's capable of doing that. We've not seen it all year. I think Joe is, in 2023, who he was in 2021. That's why he lost the job to Hendon Hooker. But look, you got to give credit where credit's due. Georgia went out. They made plays. Man, I know Tennessee's defense struggled. They played terribly at times, but there were times where Danico Slaughter was in good coverage, and guess what? Guys went up and made plays. Carson Beck was extremely efficient, threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. I thought Dylan Bell was a guy that was dynamic, went up, made plays. Brock Bowers is who he is. Georgia is the best team in the country. They're probably going to go win a third straight national championship, so credit where credit's due. Kudos to the Georgia Bulldogs. Where does Tennessee go from here? They're going to go beat up on Vanderbilt. It is what it is. They're going to limp their way to 8-4. Is 8-4 good enough? Are you feeling satisfied with where Josh Heupel's at in year 3? We're going to put perspective on that here in just a second. Look, we've had a night to sleep on it. Try to let the emotions disappear and see if we can put some thoughts together. This is the day after. We're going to talk about it, but as always, do me a favor and smash that thumbs up just below the video. That is quick, free, and easy, and it does help this channel. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't talk at you here. We talk with you. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Tonight we'll be live 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's where you guys get a voice. It's a fan call-in show. All the members of the channel get to come on, hang out, talk some Tennessee football, voice your frustrations, and talk about this thing. But let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about Tennessee and Georgia, and then I want to talk about the perspective, right? You come to Tennessee. Why do you come to Tennessee as a head coach? What is the goal? What's the mission? The mission's to beat the Big Three. Josh Heupel was able to beat the Florida Gators last year. He was able to beat Alabama last year. Electric environment inside of Neyland Stadium. How does he handle year 3? Well, you lost by 2 scores to all 3 of your rivals, Florida, Alabama, and Georgia, with total domination yesterday. Again, Tennessee, third down efficiency. Just look right there on the screen. Offensively, 2 of 11. And then you look over at the defensive side of the ball, Georgia was 9 of 13. Tennessee can't get off the field. They're not playing complimentary football. It's almost comical. It felt like, just a replay of the Missouri postgame show. It's the same conversation. The defense can't get off the field. Georgia putting together lengthy drives. 9-play, 10-play, 11-play drives all night long because Tennessee can't get off the field. But then how does the offense respond when they get out there? 3 and outs. You open the game, 75-yard touchdown run by Jalen Wright. We talked about how Tennessee needed to start fast. They needed to jump on Georgia and try to get that Neyland Stadium environment, get Neyland rocking, and see if you could make some type of impact to compete in this football game. But Jalen Wright houses the first play of the game, and then he doesn't touch the football again. He got 1 carry in the second drive that went for a yard, doesn't touch the football again until there's 1 minute and 31 seconds to go in the first half. I feel like Tennessee kind of abandoned the run game, but really, you never got anything going. You scored on the first play of the game. Georgia responds with an 11-play drive. You can't get off the field, but I also thought they were pretty good on first down. I thought they did pretty well picking up 4 or 5 yards on first down, and I think that made it difficult for Tennessee to get off the field as well. But then when you did put yourself in good position, you had 3rd and 12, 3rd and 11. It didn't matter what Tennessee did. Georgia had an answer for it. You tried to play press coverage. You didn't win the one-on-ones. You dropped back in a zone. Georgia took what you were giving them. Again, you just didn't play complimentary football after that first touchdown. How do you respond after an 11-play drive from Georgia? You go 3 and out. Georgia puts together another 9-play drive. How do you respond? Another 3 and out. I feel like that's the story. So whether you want to blame the offense, whether you want to blame the defense, Tennessee just not playing complimentary football right now. One of the questions that came up last night, Does Josh Heupel need an elite quarterback in order for this offense to work? And, I think so many times everybody thought Tennessee just, all they did was throw the football last year. They didn't do that. Tennessee ran the football last year the same way they try to run the football this year. But what we are seeing, the difference is when Tennessee can't run the football. Joe Milton is not picking this football team up and putting them on his back and just go out and win football games like Hendon Hooker could. Joe just isn't the guy. I'm sorry, he's just not the guy. He's good at times. He's never great, and he will cost you a game. Look, Tennessee scored 17 points in the last 2 weeks combined against Missouri and Georgia. If you want to throw in the pick six that Joe threw, you basically netted 10 points in 2 weeks as an offensive unit. And I get it. Sometimes, the quarterback takes too much blame. Sometimes the quarterback gets too much praise, but it is what it is. You're the quarterback at the University of Tennessee. You've got to do more. You've got to do better. And when you look at the losses, on the year, the loss to Florida, Joe's QBR 42.3. Loss to Alabama 73.9. Missouri 71. The loss to Georgia 32.5. He just doesn't see the field, right? He's inconsistent. You'll have a guy, squirrel wide open. What do? You overthrow. And nobody's going to hit all those. I understand that. Nobody's going to hit all those. You had McAllen Castle set up on a screen right there in the middle. What does he do? Hits the offensive lineman in the back of the head. Missed a guy wide open down the field. He doesn't see the field well. So, do you need an elite quarterback? What do you guys think? Jump into the comment section and let's talk about it. I know we're all screaming. We're all yelling. We all wanted to see Nico. When you're down 28, I'm asking, why are you not getting Nico some time? Post-game press conference, Heupel confirms the goal is now to redshirt. And I know a lot of people, I've been saying that for weeks, Boogie. Been telling you for weeks they were going to redshirt him. That was not the goal. Heupel just said, a couple of months ago, they had no intentions of redshirting Nico Iamaleava. But the way this season has played out, Nico's only gotten into 3 games. It does make sense. Why not go ahead and give him the red shirt? But let me tell you guys something. We better hope that Nico's not here for 4 or 5 years, because if he is, he's not the guy we thought he was. What we want him to do is what we wanted Dante Thornton to do. We wanted Thornton to come in, be a one and done, go straight to the NFL draft and show. Look what happens when you come play at Tennessee. We need Nico to be the guy that we think he is. So let's put some perspective on this. Because a lot of people in this fan base, a lot of people in this community want to talk about 8-4. Boogie, you ought to be happy. Apparently you don't remember the days of Jeremy Pruitt. You don't remember the days of Derek Dooley when this team sucked. Oh, I remember them. I lived through them. I was right here talking about them. It was miserable. We had way more nights like last night, way more nights like the Missouri Post game back then than we do now. Are we spoiled coming off of an 11-win season? Look, Tennessee's won 8 regular season games just 3 times. 3 times since Philip Fulmer was fired, and one of those was last year under Josh Heupel. Butch Jones went 8-4 back-to-back in 2015 and 2016, but that just puts some perspective on where this football team's at. And I'm not saying that I'm satisfied with that. I'm not saying I accept that. Look, things change. Expectations change based on the roster, what you've built, what you've added in the portal, what you've been able to recruit. Expectations change. It just is what it is. I said it in the post-game show. I said it leading into the Missouri game. I said if Tennessee struggles and loses to Missouri and you're looking at 8-4, I'm not satisfied with that, because Tennessee was favored to beat every team they played this year. Tennessee was favored other than Alabama and Georgia. So are you satisfied with losing games that you're favored in? And look, I get it. Missouri, it was a coin toss. It was like a 1.5-point spread. It was on the road. It's not the fact that you lost to Missouri. It's the way you lost to Missouri. You got embarrassed. You got absolutely embarrassed. You had an opportunity to go beat Florida. You had an opportunity to go beat Alabama. Put it together for 4 quarters. That may be a different story, may be a different outcome, but the bottom line is it is what it is. You got to go beat Vanderbilt to get to 8-4. And again, Josh Heupel goes 8-4. Tennessee will have done it 4 times in the regular season since Philip Fulmer was fired. That's he's done it twice in 3 years. And when you put perspective on it, we talk about Jimmys and Joes versus X's and O's. A lot of people talking about recruiting because of all the guys that were in the house for Tennessee, guys, official visitors in town, Jordan Seat, all the guys that were on campus, George McIntyre, all the guys that were here. Well, how does that go? I guess they're not coming to Tennessee because of one game. I don't think they really put, that much emphasis on one football game. But let's put some perspective on it. Let's look at recruiting real quick, because a lot of people talk about this football team and, there's a Will Brooks out there, a walk-on is out there on the football team. Why is that? because Tennessee still hasn't rebuilt this roster. When Josh Heupel was hired, we talked about a 6-year rebuild, how it was going to take time to build this thing up and get us going right back in the right direction, and he's done a good job in the transfer portal. He's done a good job in recruiting. Look, 3 years, Jeremy Pruitt at Tennessee, 2019. Finished 13th in recruiting. 2020, 11th in recruiting. 2021, he finished 20th in recruiting. In that time, he signed 3 5-stars. Darnell Wright, Wanya Morris, and Harrison Bailey, if you look at the right profile. Josh Heupel, 2022, 15th. Top 15 class. I think that's pretty good seeing how he was signed just a short little time before signing day. Josh Heupel came in towards the end of January. NCAA investigation looming. Even the class of 23. Josh Heupel was able to pull in the 12th ranked class, and you were still dealing with the NCAA investigation there. You signed the number 1 player in the country in Nico Iamaleava. 2024, right now Tennessee sitting at 11th. They've got 2 5-stars in the class. But when you go back and you look at that class of 2019, why do we have walk-ons on the field? You go look at the top signed players in that class that should be contributing to this football team. Top-ranked player was Darnell Wright. He's obviously off to the NFL. Wanya Morris, gone. Quavaris Crouch, gone. Henry Toa, gone. You've got Ramel Keaton and Jalen McCullough. Obviously, they are contributing to this football team. Eric Gray, gone. Savion Williams, gone. Tyus Fields, gone. Do you see a theme here when you look at the class of 2019, guys that should be contributing to this football team? Let's fast forward to 2020, the second recruiting cycle for Jeremy Pruitt. Top-ranked player in the class, Harrison Bailey, gone. Malachi Wideman, gone. Keyshawn Lawrence, gone. See a theme here? Laneith Whitehead, gone. Morven Joseph, Jimmy Callaway, gone. All these guys that should be contributing as upperclassmen are no longer a part of this football team. And again, Josh Heupel's done a good job going into the portal and adding some talent, but you were still trying to rebuild this roster. That's why you have guys like Will Brooks out there getting play against the Georgia Bulldogs as a walk-on. It's why we talk about coaching turnover. And on to the next. Let's get rid of him. Let's bring somebody else in. I'm still a fan of Josh Heupel. I still think Josh Heupel is the guy. I think we are seeing what happens when you don't have a solid quarterback. So maybe the question is worth asking. Does Josh Heupel need an elite quarterback in order for this offense to work? Let's talk about it. How are you guys feeling? Are you satisfied if Tennessee goes out and beats Vanderbilt and finishes this thing 8-4? I think, the Missouri game is what's leaving a bad taste in your mouth. Like the Georgia game is what it is. Georgia's elite. They're the top of the top. There's a reason they're trying to win a 3rd straight national championship. They've not lost an SEC game going on 3 years now. There's a reason for that. The Missouri game is what leaves a bad taste in my mouth for this 2023 season. But I want to hear from you guys. Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, do me a favor, smash a thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the merchandise. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link is also in the description below. Also, if you like the content, you want to support this channel, consider hitting that join button right down there beside subscribe. There's also a link in the description for that as well. You can become a member of this channel. You get a power T beside your name, custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to the fan call-in shows. If you give it the top tier, you get access to watch parties. We're going to fire those back up now that the football season is about to end. We may watch the SEC championship on air together. We'll watch some Tennessee basketball together. We'll watch some Tennessee baseball together, maybe the NFL draft. All kinds of fun perks and benefits, but hit that join button down below and consider giving. We would greatly appreciate it. That's what keeps this channel moving forward. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.